Yo, Jessica Tarlov is the only left-wing anchor on Fox News. I think they only hired her to satisfy DEI standards because she's always ill-informed and she has a history of saying stupid stuff. Like Jessica, how can you still support the Democratic Party when every day you sit with a panel full of informed anchors that on the five, literally laying out all the crooked stuff that these Democrats have been doing? Well, Greg Gutfeld has found the perfect words to explain this sentiment. He's like a political poet, seamlessly weaving, uh, uh, seamlessly weaving harmonious insults into a warm blanket so Jessica can hide her stupid face under in shame. Yo, my name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Yo, get you some popcorn and check out Gutfield as he weaves a beautiful blanket for Jessica to shame herself beneath. Let's roll the footage.
Release him to the United States.
To see MS-13 in the mega prison.
Yeah, well, Bukele has already said in answer to CNN, Caitlin Collins in the Oval Office yesterday, he says, number one, I am not going to release him. I don't have the power to take him out of a prison and force him to come to your country, number one. And
Excuse me, El President in the mega prison.
yeah, well, Bukele has already said in answer to CNN, Caitlin Collins in the Oval Office yesterday, he says, number one, I am not going to release him to the United States. I don't have the power to take him out of a prison and force him to come to your country, number one. And number two, I don't want to release this gang member out of my prison and put him in my country that I've turned from one of the most violent countries and the murder capital of the world. I'm not going to allow him to go out and kill my people, which is a real commentary on this. Look.
Yo, the president of El Salvador looks like a Miami club promoter.
This is very simple. Two courts have ruled that this guy is an MS-13 gang member. He has been deported as a result of a hearing and an appeal by an immigration court. He came here not as a member of, not through any asylum claim. He didn't come through a port of entry. He was a gotaway. He didn't come in as a protected status person. He is a gotaway who decided to come into this country. He's been here for 11 years. There is a reliable document that he's a member of MS-13, but even that doesn't matter anymore because there are two courts, immigration courts, that ordered him deported. He did not make any kind of case that allowed them to decide that he shouldn't be deported. Now, let's take that to where we are now. In addition to the fact that he's illegal, he's from El Salvador, he's in El Salvador now. No local district court judge has the right to say to the United States, you better go over there. What are we going to do? Send SEAL Team 6 over to the prison in El Salvador and bring this guy back? He doesn't belong here. He's illegal. He came here illegally. Immigration court said, get your tail out of this country. And now the Democrats are freaking out. This guy, Van Halen, this senator, he should be ashamed of himself. If you want to go over there and you want to check on an illegal who is in this country illegally and is a member of MS-13, and you don't want to talk about Rachel Morin, who is from your state.
He did.
This is an example.
Today.
Oh,
Here
good,
she
I'm
go.
glad. Today he figured out.
Here goes Jessica.
Let me finish.
Yeah, shut up, Jessica.
This is the problem. We've got people who belong in Congress, who've been elected to Congress, who are worried about illegal criminals and not worried about American citizens like Joe Biden. And that's the reason we're in this mess in the first place. Start caring about American citizens.
Jessica Tarlov.
Jessica.
Hi.
Hi.
So, Senator, now I'm going to say Van Halen because you did.
I did.
Which
Sorry.
makes him a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
But did speak about Rachel Morin and has since she was murdered. That first and foremost. Abrego Garcia, there is no proof that he was an MS-13 member, and it has been debunked many times.
It's been debunked
yes,
by
it has.
liberal
It was
newspapers.
That's
in
not
a
true.
Court of law,
Stop.
Section I-113 or 123 is reliable, verifiable proof that you were a member of a gang, and he was never able to rebut it.
It was based on double hearsay testimony and also a detective who was indicted merely weeks later for providing confidential information to a sex worker. He was also allegedly an alcoholic. That's how we got into this. But the point is that this man has been living in this country out in public, meeting on an annual basis with his DHS caseworker.
So?
He goes in once a year. He talks to them. They know where he works. He's an on-the-books worker. This is not somebody who is a gangbanger. This is not somebody who has committed any other crime besides being here in this country. And he came here also based on credible threat of being murdered
Everybody
by
says
a
that.
gang at home who was threatening his entire family. The reason that Democrats are talking about the fact that anyone could, quote unquote, be disappeared is that you can see a full-blown constitutional crisis playing out in front of our eyes.
Here we go with that
The
constitutional
Supreme Court
crisis.
ruled 9-0 that he had to be returned. President Bukhari is lying when he says that he can't get him back. We know that he can return people to the original shipment. There were women that were sent there, and he said, oh, no, you shouldn't be here. And there were some Venezuelans that he didn't want. He said, okay, you shouldn't be here, and he shipped them on back. They think that it's funny. Getting that hot mic moment where Donald Trump and the El Salvadorian president are talking, they're kind of loitering around at the front of the Oval Office, where they're joking about, like, oh, wouldn't it be great if you could take our homegrown ones? You cannot legally send Americans to an El Salvadorian prison camp, no matter what they have done. Senator Kennedy was on our air earlier this afternoon with Sandra and John and said as much.
Okay.
You look at, one more thing to say. Actually, multiple more things to say. But what is most important is that under the Alien Enemies Act, you deserve due process. And that's what the Supreme Court ruled. And if you go back to World War II, when we were invoking this same act, that people who were here undocumented from Japan, from Germany, from Italy, were allowed to go into a court where they could argue that they weren't a danger to this nation. Abrego Garcia was not afforded that right to come into court and to argue as to why he should not be deported. And it is not the same thing to deport someone to their home country as to send them to a prison.
Well, then,
you know that.
First of all, the 9-0 decision by the Supreme Court held that the judge was wrong to think that she or he could enjoin the whole nation and dictate to a president international policy.
Facilitate his return.
No. The facilitation, as the Attorney General herself said, was that if they decide to return him, no judge can tell the president you
what
have
to
to go
do.
to another country and pull a citizen of that country and bring him back here when he's illegal here in the first place.
Greg, is this a constitutional crisis?
You know what's funny? I don't care. I honestly don't care. Do you not? I bet the viewers at home feel this narrative at work. What is strange about this story? What is the strange thing about this story?
Get her.
The majority of Americans favor deportation of illegals, especially those who are criminals, but they favor deportation of illegals. The last, 8 days, 7 days, has been around about one person.
Yep.
One person. I don't even know his name. I don't care. I don't care. If he's here illegal, he's got to go. We are not responsible for the faulty process that allowed him to be here before. Is he a terrorist? Is he not a terrorist? I don't care. Let me give you an analogy. This will be good for you because you like sports. You walk down to your box seats. There's somebody sitting in your seat. And you go, why is this guy sitting in my seat? And they go, well, he's not supposed to be there. But you know, he's a family man. He's got a job. Like, yeah, but that's not on me. That's my seat. Don't you have a process for having him leave that seat? Yes, we do. Can he go back to his seat? Why doesn't he go back to his seat? It's not my concern where that seat is. He's got to go. Yes, but did you know he's been trying really hard to be a good citizen? He's really quiet. You know, he's not making. No, you don't understand. He's got to go. Now, we knew that this process wouldn't be easy.
We did.
It was really easy for Democrats to open the floodgates and be seen as the heroes. Look how compassionate we are.
Facts.
It's always going to be harder to send them back. And you're going to be treated like a villain every single step of the way. Because adults fix the problems that children's cause. And sometimes the adults have to do big stuff to fix the big problems that were caused by Democrats, who are in this case are the children. As for this, why are they talking about this disappear fear? It's because the bat signal went up. Last week it was chaos. Now it's disappear fear. You put
Facts.
it on the mountain of imaginary concerns, along with paper straws, the climate apocalypse,
Facts.
Russian collusion,
Facts.
white supremacy, Musk is a Nazi. This is what I mean when you can feel the narrative, you can feel it. You go like, oh, now I understand this. This whole thing, this guy is nothing more than a tool that is being used to subvert the needs and concerns of the American public. This is why they're latching onto it.
Swear to God. Listen, if you are an immigrant here in America, they are only using your car. Democrats, the Democratic Party doesn't care about y'all. You know what I'm saying? They've only been using y'all plight to raise money for themselves. That's it. They don't care about y'all, yo. You know? Realize that.
You mentioned how the deportation, in a way, has the same issues as the invasion. It's a mirror. Biden opened the border, millions came in, and surely murderers and rapists were part of that. Now we're deporting hundreds of thousands, and surely one or two might not be criminal. However, compare the error. In one of these errors, Americans don't die. At worst, a guy gets sent to a country he doesn't want to go to. You know what? I can live with that.
Into a prison camp, not just out into
You know,
the wild.
look, I'm sorry, Jessica. I understand your concern, but I refuse to care about one person who's an illegal alien when the mental shelf space that I have is now reserved for victims of crime, which I've been talking about for years. This manufactured narrative, family man, father of three, coming from the media, who with the same intensity talked about having children was bad for the climate, are now telling us that when you have children, you are now a pillar of the community. If that guy was a white American citizen, they would just call him a MAGA extremist. But he's an illegal alien and he has kids, and now he's the spirit of the community. He's a good guy.
Yeah, but in addition to that, there are two courts that ruled he had his due process.
Yeah.
No one, I don't care about any of that.
60 Minutes found that 75% of the people who have been sent to that prison do not have a criminal record here. Have not, yes,
60 Minutes went over and interviewed them?
Yo, I am sorry that I'm so dirty. I just got off work. Y'all know I'm a millwright. I work for my money too. Check it out. I know that this is such a distasteful topic, talking about this deportation thing. But like they've been saying, we do not think, if you're an immigrant and you're watching this, we do not think that all illegal immigrants are here committing crime. We know that there's a very low percentage of illegal aliens here that commit crime. But if we're going to be unalived or something bad is going to happen to us, we want that to happen to us by somebody that's American. I hate to say it, I do. Um, there were rumors circulating that Jessica Tarlov was fired from Fox News. She's as a leftist, as the only leftist, she's gained such a celebrity status in Democratic media sources. But I think that that was just wishful thinking. She's not fired, as you can see. That was just yesterday. But I don't think she's really a Trump hater. I think she's just playing her role as the devil's advocate because no way in hell she actually believes a lot of the stuff that she's spewing. It's so stupid. She's been caught several times for spreading lies. One time she said that Trump super PAC paid the legal fees for Tony Babalushi, which was a former baby Biden business partner who had testified about Biden's family business and how they had committed crimes during the Biden impeachment hearing. And then he ultimately sued her for $30 million, but she wasn't fired. Greg Gutfeld just simply made her leave after he roasted her dumb ass like a left-wing turkey dinner. Yo, my name is Marcus Russell. Thank you for checking me out. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.